What if everything you've been told about manifesting is backwards? What if the secret to quantum manifestation isn't about doing more, but about understanding less? You're about to discover why simplicity holds the key to unlocking realities that most people spend their entire lives chasing. Right now, as you listen to these words, you exist within an infinite field of potential. Every possibility you've ever dreamed of already exists in quantum form, waiting to collapse into your physical reality. But here's what nobody wants to admit. The reason most people fail at manifestation isn't because they lack knowledge or techniques. It's because they're drowning in complexity when the universe speaks only the language of simplicity. Think about the last time something magical happened in your life. Maybe you met someone extraordinary when you least expected it. Perhaps an opportunity landed in your lap without you actively seeking it, or a solution to a problem appeared when you finally stopped wrestling with it. What was your internal state in those moments? You weren't forcing, you weren't controlling, you were simply open, present, and aligned. That's quantum manifestation in its purest form. And you were already doing it perfectly. The quantum field doesn't respond to your desperation, your complicated rituals, or your perfectly crafted vision boards. It responds to your energetic signature, your vibrational state, your coherent alignment with what you desire. This is why someone can meditate for hours, visualize endlessly, and repeat affirmations until they're blue in the face, yet remain stuck in the same patterns year after year. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not manifesting what you want, you're manifesting what you are. Every moment, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and nervous system are broadcasting a signal into the quantum field. That signal is either coherent or chaotic, aligned or conflicted, trusting or fearful. The universe isn't judging your signal, it's simply mirroring it back to you with mathematical precision. Most people approach manifestation like they're trying to convince a skeptical judge. They pile on evidence through positive thinking, stack up visualizations like legal documents, and repeat affirmations as if volume equals validity. But the quantum field isn't a courtroom, it's a mirror. It reflects your dominant frequency, not your loudest proclamations. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. Your subconscious mind processes approximately 11 million bits of information per second, while your conscious mind handles around 40. That means 99.9% of your reality is being shaped by processes you're not even aware of. Your subconscious is like an iceberg, the massive hidden part that determines where your life actually goes. This is why traditional manifestation techniques often feel hollow. You're working with the tip of the iceberg while ignoring the massive foundation beneath. You can consciously want abundance while subconsciously expecting struggle. You can visualize love while internally believing you're unworthy. You can affirm success while your nervous system remains locked in survival mode. The quantum field reads the whole signal, and the subconscious always wins. But here's where it gets fascinating. Scientists have discovered that your heart generates an electromagnetic field 60 times greater in amplitude than your brain. This heart field extends several feet beyond your body, creating an energetic signature that literally shapes the space around you. When your heart and mind achieve coherence, when they're aligned rather than at war with each other, you become a powerful broadcaster of unified intention. This is why emotional alignment is non-negotiable in quantum manifestation. You can't think your way into a new reality. You must feel your way there. The field responds to the felt sense of already having what you desire, not the mental gymnastics of trying to acquire it. Consider this radical perspective. What if the thing you want most is not missing from your life, but simply collapsed in a parallel timeline? Quantum physics suggests that all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your job isn't to create something from nothing, but to align yourself with the version of reality where you already possess what you seek. This shifts everything. Instead of reaching for something external, you're tuning into something that already exists. Instead of becoming someone worthy of your desires, you're remembering that you're already connected to them. Instead of efforting your way to manifestation, you're relaxing into alignment. But why do so few people master this apparent simplicity? Because letting go feels like giving up. Because surrendering control feels dangerous. Because trusting the process requires confronting our deepest programming around worthiness, safety, and deserving. We've been conditioned to believe that struggle equals worth, that harder work guarantees better results, that we must earn everything through effort and sacrifice. These beliefs create internal friction that disrupts your coherent signal to the quantum field. You end up manifesting more struggle, more effort, more reasons to work harder, because that's the dominant frequency you're broadcasting. The paradox of quantum manifestation is this: the moment you stop needing something so desperately, the field can finally deliver it. Not because the universe is testing your patience, but because desperation creates energetic static that scrambles your signal. Let's explore what coherent alignment actually feels like in practice. Imagine you want to manifest financial abundance. Traditional approaches might have you visualizing money, affirming wealth statements, or creating elaborate abundance rituals. But coherent alignment asks a different question. How does the version of you who already has abundant resources move through the world? They probably make decisions from expansion rather than contraction. They invest in themselves without guilt. They give generously without keeping score. They approach opportunities with curiosity rather than desperation. They handle money with respect rather than anxiety. Most importantly, they trust that resources flow to them because they've proven themselves to be good stewards of energy. This isn't about pretending to be wealthy when you're not. It's about embodying the energetic qualities that naturally magnetize abundance. The field responds to your internal state, not your external circumstances. The same principle applies to manifesting love, health, creative fulfillment, or any other desire. The question isn't, how do I get this thing? But how do I become the person who naturally experiences this reality? Here's where most people stumble. They try to skip the becoming and jump straight to the having. They want the manifestation without the transformation. But quantum manifestation is fundamentally about evolution. You're not just calling in new experiences, you're becoming someone capable of sustaining those experiences. This requires what I call energetic integration, aligning your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, nervous system, and actions into a coherent whole. When these elements are in harmony, you create what scientists call a coherent field, a powerful, unified signal that the quantum responds to almost instantly. But integration isn't a destination, it's a practice. You'll have moments of perfect alignment and moments of complete chaos. The mastery isn't in never wobbling, it's in how quickly you return to coherence when you notice you've drifted. Your body is constantly giving you feedback about your alignment. Tension, anxiety, and contraction signal that you've slipped into resistance. Ease, flow, and expansion indicate that you're in coherent alignment. Learning to read these signals turns your entire being into a manifestation compass. Most people ignore their body's wisdom and try to manifest from their minds alone. But your nervous system holds decades of programming, trauma responses, and survival patterns that can override your conscious intentions. True manifestation work involves befriending your nervous system, not bypassing it. This is why practices like breathwork, meditation, movement, and somatic healing are so powerful for manifestation. They help regulate your nervous system and create the internal safety needed for your desires to emerge. When your system feels safe, it naturally opens to receiving. When it feels threatened, it contracts and repels what you most want. Let me share something that might surprise you. The quantum field is not separate from you. You're not trying to manipulate some external force to give you what you want. You are the field. You're both the observer and the observed, the broadcaster and the receiver, the question and the answer. This realization changes everything. You're not begging the universe for scraps. You're remembering your fundamental interconnectedness with all that is. You're not trying to convince reality to shift. You're embodying the shift and watching reality reflect it back to you. But embodiment requires practice, patience, and incredible self-compassion. You're literally rewiring neural pathways, shifting cellular patterns, and transforming your relationship with reality itself. This doesn't happen overnight, and it rarely happens in a straight line. You'll have breakthrough moments followed by apparent setbacks. You'll glimpse your power, then question whether any of this is real. You'll feel aligned one day and completely lost the next. This isn't evidence that you're doing it wrong. It's evidence that you're doing profound work. The key is learning to surf these waves rather than being knocked over by them. When you feel aligned and connected, savor it. When you feel lost and contracted, meet yourself with curiosity rather than judgment. Both states are part of the process. Here's a practice that can transform your manifestation abilities immediately. Start paying attention to your inner commentary. Notice the stories you tell yourself throughout the day. Are they stories of limitation or possibility? Of scarcity or abundance? Of victimhood or empowerment? These internal narratives aren't just thoughts. They're creative instructions to the quantum field. Every story you repeat becomes a template for your experience. If you want to change your reality, start by changing your internal dialogue. But don't try to force positivity over genuine feelings. The field responds to authenticity, not performance. If you're feeling scared, acknowledge the fear while choosing not to let it drive your decisions. If you're feeling frustrated, honor the frustration while refusing to make it your identity. This brings us to one of the most crucial aspects of quantum manifestation: emotional fluency. Most people think manifestation is about feeling good all the time. It's not. It's about feeling real all the time while maintaining your center regardless of what emotions arise. Emotions are energy in motion. When you resist them, you create stagnation. When you welcome them without attachment, you create flow. The quantum field responds beautifully to someone who can feel deeply while staying rooted in their truth. This is why community matters so much in manifestation work. We're social beings who co-regulate with those around us. When you surround yourself with people who are also practicing conscious creation, your entire system attunes to that higher frequency. Conversely, spending time with people stuck in victim consciousness can pull you out of alignment. Choose your energetic diet as carefully as your physical diet. Consume content that expands your sense of possibility. Engage in conversations that elevate your frequency. Spend time in environments that remind you of your creative power. And remember, you don't have to convince anyone else that quantum manifestation works. Your results will speak for themselves. Focus on your own alignment rather than trying to convert skeptics. The field responds to your internal coherence, not your ability to explain it to others. As we near the end of our journey together, I want to offer you the most practical guidance possible. Quantum manifestation isn't about learning new techniques. It's about remembering who you really are beneath all the conditioning and programming. Every morning before you check your phone or engage with the world's chaos, take a few moments to tune in. Ask yourself, what frequency am I choosing today? What version of myself am I embodying? What reality am I aligning with through my thoughts, feelings, and choices? Throughout the day, use your breath as an anchor. When you notice tension, contraction, or fear arising, take 3 conscious breaths. This simple act interrupts the pattern and creates space for realignment. You're not trying to force anything, you're simply returning to center. Before sleep, practice gratitude for any evidence of alignment you experienced during the day. This could be as subtle as choosing love over fear in a moment of stress, or as obvious as receiving an unexpected opportunity. Gratitude amplifies coherence and signals to the field that you're ready for more. Most importantly, trust the process. The quantum doesn't operate on your timeline or according to your preferences about how things should unfold. Your job is to maintain alignment and let the field orchestrate the details. When you try to control the how and when, you create resistance that slows down the manifestation process. You are far more powerful than you've been taught to believe. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a conscious creator of experience. The same intelligence that spins galaxies and grows forests lives within you. The same field that holds infinite possibilities is the very fabric of your being. The simplicity of quantum manifestation is both its greatest gift and its greatest challenge. In a world that worships complexity, choosing simplicity feels revolutionary. In a culture addicted to doing, focusing on being feels radical. In a society that promotes separation, remembering your interconnectedness feels transformative. But this is exactly why so few people master manifestation. They're looking for complexity where only simplicity exists. They're searching for techniques when they need transformation. They're trying to get something when they need to become someone. The invitation is always the same. Release your grip on how you think it should work and surrender to how it actually works. Stop trying to force the river and learn to navigate its current. Quit pushing against reality and start dancing with it. Your desires aren't random wishes floating in empty space. They're evolutionary impulses calling you toward your fullest expression. Trust them, honor them, but hold them lightly, knowing that the universe may have something even better in store. In the comments below, I invite you to share one word that captures the energy you're choosing to embody moving forward. Maybe it's trust, flow, ease, power, or something uniquely your own. Let this word be a seed you plant not just in this community but in the quantum field itself. And if this message resonated with something deep inside you, if you felt a shift or remembering while listening, I warmly invite you to subscribe. This isn't just a channel, it's a gathering space for conscious creators ready to step into their full power. Every time you choose alignment over resistance, presence over distraction, love over fear, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to the collective awakening of human consciousness. You're proving that another way is possible. You're becoming living evidence that magic is real and miracles are natural. The quantum field is waiting for your signal. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when you've figured it all out, but right now, in this moment, exactly as you are. You are enough, you have enough, you know enough to begin. The only question remaining is this: are you ready to stop complicating what's meant to be simple and start living as the conscious creator you were born to be? The field is listening. What will you broadcast?